Hi everybody, welcome in. If you're new, welcome back. If you've been here before, I'm Lisa and this is North Star Energy Healing. I'm not usually on camera or haven't been in the past, but I've been doing a lot of research on YouTube success, let's say. And when I first started my channel over 2 years ago, I used to do it this way where I started the readings with me on camera and then I went to facing the camera to the cards. I wish I had two cameras or knew how to even do that setup, but I don't. So you could watch me and the cards at the same time. Maybe someday I will get to that. But I did some research because my channel has been growing, but slowly. So the advice, there were a few things. One was do thumbnails. So I had to spend Friday searching and researching and practicing and figuring out how to do thumbnails. It's not that bad once I learned it, but anyway. And then showing your face on camera was the second thing. And the third thing was about your title. So the funny thing is, when I'm scrolling on YouTube, I don't pay that much attention to the thumbnails. Anyway, but apparently these successful channels are saying that's what we need to do. So we're going to do coffee cup and cards today, and I will face the camera to the down in a couple of minutes once we do your oracle card. Please remember, this is a collective reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest. So using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, the card that came out for you is Observer. Observer, number 49. 49 is a 13, which pairs down to a 4. That's stability or stagnation. And you see in the card there's a fox looking through a spyglass up at the moon and stars. He's sitting on an egg. Eggs are new ideas. Or in this deck, that's what they represent. Or probably in many decks. But yeah, eggs are creation, new birth, new life, new ideas. Foxes can be tricky, right? Sometimes they're known as, being sly. But we'll have to see what comes out. This fox is looking up to the moon and stars at his future. What's out there? What do I need to do? He's being an observer, right? So this is kind of a hint that maybe right now you need to do a little bit more observing than you do acting. Now, the book says perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. So there could be something going on that you need to kind of watch before you act. That's the feeling. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need to distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Yeah, that's really hard to do as humans because we feel involved with every aspect of our life, and many times we feel like we have to act or speak before we should, right? Sometimes when we're in a conversation, we're actually formulating what we're going to say as the other person is speaking instead of kind of taking that all in. So Spirit is giving me the hint of test out your listening abilities. See if you can be a better listener and therefore a better observer. Okay, so that's kind of the first message coming in with the oracle. We're going to look at your coffee cup and then draw out the tarot on camera. All right, I'm going to pause it and move the camera, and I will see you in just a moment. Okay, here we go. Here is your cup and saucer, and let's see what the messages are. I hope you're all doing well today. We're back to chilly in Maine. We had one day where it was sunny and in the 60s, and then right back down into the 40s. Okay. All right. Here's the overview of your cup. All right, Spirit, what do we have? I already see a bull right in here. So this is your reading, right? Taurus. I see a horseshoe. That's luck. This horseshoe, though, is pointed down. See it? So you may need to, how can I word this, Spirit? To flip it over, you need to see things in a different perspective. And that goes right along with your observer card, right? See it from a different perspective. Look at how lucky you are in a different way. Maybe you've been focusing on the wrong things and you need to focus on the better things. I know I had a little bit of a struggle. Yesterday was Easter because, I forgot to say, as I'm recording this, it's Monday, April 6th. Because my son wasn't able to come up for dinner, and he's the only family member that lives close to us. So it was a little bit, I had a struggle, but then I had to just look at it in a different way. So sometimes we're called to do that. Okay, so Taurus, I see the bull, I see the horseshoe. All right, let me see here. I see a garden, right? So they're showing me the worms at the bottom and the flowers coming up. We, of course, need worms to make the soil rich in whatever it is they do. I'm not whatever you have to be to study that stuff. But the earth needs many, many things in order to produce what she produces, right? So although we don't like looking at worms, probably they're kind of icky, they're the ones that make the soil to where it's able to grow things. I'm just trying to feel in because there's another message about that. So Spirit is saying there are many, many different catalysts that we need in order to grow. And sometimes it does feel kind of icky, but we need that stuff. We need to be challenged. We need to be pushed at times. Okay, well, thank you for that. They're showing me the person walking above the garden has no idea what's going on beneath the surface. And they're telling me, just as sometimes we have no idea what the universe and our guides are doing for us. We feel the challenges, but we don't see the outcome. They do. We don't. Okay, let's see, Spirit. Wow. They're just showing me so much growth beneath the surface. So here is one of those messages. See what I was saying, worm, flowers, person walking. And then they show it again here, showing what's going on beneath the surface. Wow, Taurus says, okay, it feels like something is getting ready to bloom or blossom, something that you've been waiting for, that you've been working on, that you've maybe been frustrated about it not happening soon enough. You see how there's this on the edge? This is like, you're almost there, whatever it is that you've been working. Now I see that again. So there are 3 spots in this cup where it's showing underground growth, let's say, beneath the surface growth. Okay, let me see. What else do you have, Spirit? Okay. I see a dog's face. If I had to guess, it's a lab. Of course, people are probably going to laugh and say, oh yeah, she can say that because a lot of people have. No, I used to have a lab shepherd mix. When I see these animal faces, I usually get a glimpse of the type. Sometimes I don't always get it right, but I see a dog, lab face, Labrador type dog. They're giving me the feeling of a rescue dog. So this could be a dog that helps somebody with epilepsy or diabetes. It's some sort of a working dog, a service dog, because they're showing him with like, this is very old-timey. St. Bernards used to have like a barrel on their collar. I think it might have had brandy in it when they would go out and rescue people in the snow. Labs don't do that, but that's what they're showing me. Spirit is showing me that, which is why I'm getting the feeling of a rescue dog or a service dog, okay? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Let's see. What is this, Spirit? Some sort of Tibetan flags. You know how there is a string of flags and they're all different colors? They're showing me that. I don't know if some of you are going on some sort of a trek to some sort of monastery, or maybe you have these around your meditation space. I don't know why they would show me that, but somebody out there does. Okay, let's see. I see there's 4 people holding hands walking uphill, hiking or walking. There's some sort of message about sticking together. Maybe I'm getting the feeling that there was some sort of group activity where you all went together out in nature somewhere to bond or rebond or celebrate somebody's life. There's something about that. They're showing me a turkey, like a tom turkey with its tail out here. Gosh, I have no idea what that means. Maybe some of you are turkey hunters, or your family members are turkey hunters. There's something about turkeys. Maybe you could raise turkeys. It could be many, many things. Let's see. What else do we have? See an arrow pointing straight up. So rising, remember breaking through the surface. Remember what we saw with all of those things that are beneath the surface that you don't see yet. Okay, let's see. What is that? A mermaid. Okay, mermaid. I don't know. It is a mermaid. I'm just saying there's not really a message coming through. They're just... So I asked my guides to reveal in the cup what they want me to say to you. So somebody, mermaid, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means something to some of you. Now the bottom of the cup. So you see all those little white spots? It looks like possibly seeds in soil. Again, I feel that same thing about like reaping what you sow, like you're planting and waiting for something, like putting the seeds in and waiting for things to grow. I mean, that's how it is with anything that we create, not just literally planting things, but Spirit is giving me the things that you've worked on, the seeds that you've planted. This could also be, I don't know why they're giving me this story to tell you, but when I lived in a place that was known as the Bible Belt, and I am who I am, it was very difficult for me to live there. But when I went and had a hypnosis session in North Carolina, I traveled a long ways to go there and stay with a friend. One of the things that came through was that I was there because my energy and light was needed to plant the seeds in people's minds that what they believe in may not be the whole truth of the universe, if that makes sense. So there's many ways to plant seeds, right? Ooh, this is going to be watery. Hold on. All right, now your saucer doesn't have a whole lot in it. That's okay. Your cup had lots of messages. Going on 15 minutes just for the cup. So the other advice was keep your videos under 15 minutes. But when I do a coffee cup reading, I just can't do that. So right here, when I'm looking at this, it reminds me of the Grateful Dead. You know, I don't know if they have some sort of a symbol. I'm not a Grateful Dead fan. I don't listen to that music, but Spirit is giving me this. I don't know if the Grateful Dead band has some significance for you, but that's what they're making me think of right there, is some sort of, and you can look it up. I think it has some sort of a round, it could be a skull, and then it's like maybe got a lightning bolt, something. I don't know. It's just, that's what they're giving me. You never know what's going to come out in these things. So they're giving me that song Drops of Jupiter. Who sang that song? I know who it is, and I can't. Collective Soul, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so they're giving me Grateful Dead reference, a Drops of Jupiter reference. Jupiter, Sagittarians are ruled by Jupiter, so maybe you have a Sagittarius in your life, but I don't know, maybe listen to that song and see what the message is in the song. I can't remember exactly. Okay, let's see. Moving on. I don't often get musical references in these readings. So it feels like breakthrough. So the circle here and then this going out. It feels like a breakthrough, some sort of having a breakthrough. I mean, that goes right along with all of the seeds and the planting and being the observer, because when you plant seeds, they don't grow immediately 5 minutes later, right? You're observing that, you're watching it, you're seeing, what do I need to do differently? Does it need more water, less water, more food? What do I need to do with these plants? And it's the same when we're creating anything in our lives. But a breakthrough is coming. I feel that very strongly. Now they're giving me the message about different points that you need to get to go. So you may have this destination here, here, and here, or here, here, here. You know, it's like these points in time that are a catalyst. I think I was saying that in the beginning. I can't remember. When I'm in channel mode, it's hard to remember everything I've said. But it's like you go to these different points, different events, different mile markers, different things, and it's all of it is giving you more wisdom and more knowledge and more whatever it is that you need, you know, at this time, or to move on, or to have that breakthrough. Whew, wow, that was a mouthful there. Yeah, 17 minutes just for that. This is and we still have tarot. All right, I'm going to be using my Celestial Tarot deck. I really love this deck. It's a newer deck to me. I've had it for a couple of weeks. Gotten my energy on it. You know, when I first get a deck, I'm shuffling and doing readings for myself and just feeling how the deck is. And I just really love this deck, and so I'm going to use it for a couple more readings, and then we'll see. I have a lot of decks. I have like 35 decks between tarot and oracle. And I like that because every deck has a different feel. Every deck has a different energy. The channeling and creating that went into these decks, you know, is different. Hermit, that's Virgo energy. That's going within, right? Hermit can also be thought of as an observer, right? You're observing what's around you without acting, just like that first message. You're observing yourself. You're connecting with yourself. We can't see the path. The path is not lit unless we're connected, right? So we have to be connected with our guides, with our intuition. And the only way to do that sometimes is to just shut everything else off, Tauruses, and just go to a quiet space, to a quiet spot. Oh my gosh, okay. The Fool, new journey. The World, an ending. The Wheel of Fortune, the wheel is turning. Wow. So when I have the the World, excuse me, right after the Fool, that to me, that's telling me there's a short journey. Like it's a short from here to there, because I don't know what it is for each one of you. There's some project or something that you're going to do, and it's going to be very quick. You know, this new thing, I don't know. It's like you start something that you think is going to take a long time, and it goes quicker than you imagined. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a reading with the World following the Fool. I really don't. But the World is completing a cycle and starting something new. So the Fool is a new journey. Okay. Bonus card is the Ace of Cups. emotional. Okay, let's look at these. Okay, so your first card out, the Hermit. So you see how he's kind of cloaked. He's standing there. It looks like he's standing like on snow. There are some lanterns like floating all around him, and he has a lantern right in front of him. So he is contemplating, he is thinking. His lantern is lighting the way, but he's focusing in order to see which way he needs to go or where he needs to go in order to see his path. He's focusing and concentrating. I mean, every single day we have a choice of where we're going, what route we're going to drive to work or to wherever we're going. So going within and tuning into your inner compass is going to help you make the best choice for you. The Fool. This is 0. This is clean slate. This is starting fresh. So the Hermit could be showing you what you need to do. And the Fool is you getting ready to do that. He's got his staff there with that, I don't know, it looks like a sun on top. He's got his cloak with all the planets on it. It's just a beautiful card with that moon there in the sky. So he is headed out, right? He's walking. Now, this deck doesn't show a bunch of stuff around the Fool. It just shows him going on his journey. And the very next card is the World. Isn't this beautiful? This deck is so gorgeous. So she's standing there inside of what could be the moon, the planets all around, stars, bright, beautiful. 21, creation and collaboration. Well, because it's the 21 is a 3, and that's creation and collaboration. But she is very excited and happy that she has created all these things that are around her. This beautiful world that she is in. This bright, beautiful, shining star. Light. She's happy, right? So maybe what I'm picking up is there's some decision that you've been weighing, and that once you make that decision, everything just moves forward. And then the Wheel of Fortune, right? So moving forward, the wheel is turning. This is Sagittarius energy as well. You see the beautiful wheel there with all the symbols and everything. It's always turning. This is a 10. This is also the completion of a cycle. So what I'm picking up on, what Spirit is giving me is sometimes when we get to the end of a cycle, we have some, we're sad. Thank you. Finally, the word. So sometimes we go through this, we get done with something, and we feel kind of sad like that has ended. But remember that the wheel is always turning. You're always moving forward, unless you prevent yourself from doing that by throwing up blocks, right? So you get done with whatever this is that's really quick, something that you couldn't decide. You make the decision, you complete it, and the wheel keeps turning, propelling you forward in truth. So the Knight of Swords, right? Knights are forward action. Knight of Swords, that's thoughts, communication, and truth, right? This is the second fastest knight in the deck, and he's moving forward. So you have forward action with the Wheel of Fortune and forward action with the Knight of Swords. Then you have the Four of Wands. This is the happy family card. It looks a little bit different in this deck, but there is still 4 wands. There are 4 people. So the number 4 could be important for you. But this is beauty, right? The beautiful flowers, the family here, all these lit up banners, right? So this is saying, if you already have a happy family, this is just acknowledging that. If things have been a little bit rough and you have a decision to make going within, you will get to that, okay? The Four of Wands is often also called the 1111 card, which is a very magical, powerful number, 1111. Your bonus card is the Ace of Cups. So when the Ace of Cups is following the Four of Wands, it makes me think of some sort of renewal with your love, nurturing, and emotions. Some sort of a renewal of your emotions coming up with that Ace of Cups, that Four of Wands, and that Ace of Cups. So there could be something, Tauruses, that you need to go through. Now remember, that you have the observer first, right? This card telling you to step back, see things from a distance, excuse me, see things differently and from a distance. Wow, tongue twister, right? So stepping back and seeing things differently so that you can, stepping back like the hermit and then making that decision, but always moving forward and then having some sort of renewal in relationship or family relationships, right? Wow, Taurus. I really hope that this has helped. Please comment and let me know, and give the video a like, a thumbs up, a share. I think this is a beautiful message of getting yourself unstuck to move forward, right? And don't forget about planting the seeds and nurturing those so that they can grow and be revealed and come up, and blossom and bloom. Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.